Hi, everybody. I'm Mike, and this is Mike Miller Talks Life. Today's quote: "Don't be content with making a point. Make a difference." There are a lot of people making points these days. I'm sure you've noticed it. Everywhere we turn, someone has been given a platform and they're making a point. They're loud and angry. They talk a lot. They're accusing, finger pointing. There was a time when platforms to communicate to thousands were available only to the elite. But now, the average person can broadcast their views to potentially millions of people. I mean, it's nothing for me to broadcast what I'm thinking. I'm not broadcasting to millions of people, but it's easy. We make points about the government. We make points about the mandates that the government's trying to make. Taxes, COVID issues, mask wearing, vaccinations, immigration, religion, politics, race, our rights, climate change, homeless problems. The point makers are motivated to state what they believe the problem is. They want to stir people up. They want to get people angry. They want a reaction, and they cause division. It's never been easier to make a point, but the real need is for people to make a difference. Men and women, teenagers who will make a difference. It's hard to make a difference. It requires humility and patience, requires sacrifice and generosity. A fellow minister, Jay Kim, says, "Difference makers talk less and listen more. They critique less and affirm more, and they overthink less, and they just do more." These are excellent points for those who want to move out and become a difference maker, to listen, to affirm, and to do. These are power words for the difference maker community. I agree that there are points that need to be made. There are a lot of things going on. There are a lot of issues that need to be addressed. But we are desperate for people who will make a difference. We could go for a while without point makers. We can't go much longer without people rising up to make a difference. We need people who will listen, who will affirm the good, and who will do what they can to bring about change and a difference. Every time we make a difference, there may not be a platform. There may not be lights and cameras. There may not be somebody sticking a microphone in your face. There won't be people clicking like and sharing it with their friends. But there will be a person, or there will be people that you have touched that are blessed and encouraged and beginning to feel hope again. Every problem we are facing needs people willing to address it and figure out how to make a difference. Every movement in human history, every radical change against the status quo, every step of progress that has benefited people came through an individual or a group who chose to make a difference. I love hearing stories about people who have made a difference. They went to help. They gave time and energy. They pitched in. People who have volunteered with the anti-human trafficking groups are making a huge difference. People who have volunteered to feed the homeless, which it seems like an endless problem, but they're making a difference in those people's lives. People who used to go and build homes for Habitat for Humanity. That's a big difference they're making. Those who go to jails to visit the inmates or to teach reading or other skills these people will need when they get out. Married couples who have reached out to mentor young married couples. That's so powerful. People who have made a positive difference in the world of race relations. They've pulled people together. That's a powerful difference. I think it's exciting to see what can happen when people decide, I want to make a difference. I'm tired of hearing points and hearing what's wrong. All the differences that have been made in our health community, in our religious world, all the points, all of the differences that have been made in how we treat people have come from people who have stepped up to bring about change. Interested in becoming a difference maker? Well, 3 things will help you. You're going to have to open your eyes. You have to be able to see the needs around you. As you drive around, as you walk through your community, when you go to work, when you go to the store, when you go to the mall, you have to have your eyes open to see people and see the needs. Start arriving early for appointments so that you have time to sit and watch people and look for needs. Look for the needs, look for brokenness, look for hurts, look for a mess. It's amazing how we can be around a group of people and come away with just feeling irritated that there were so many people there. And yet somebody else can walk through that same crowd and tell you several needs they saw. We have to open our eyes. We see what we're looking for. And many times we just don't want to see. We just want to get through. So you're going to have to open your eyes, but you also need to open your heart. You have to let what you see get to you. You have to feel it. Take off your protective armor and feel. Let things get to you. In the Bible, Jesus was looking over a group of people and he felt compassion for the people. It got to him. The needs that they had, the spiritual needs, the needs of their soul, it got to him. We need to learn to let the plight of people stir our heart. I don't want to get to that point that I don't care about people. I don't want to become hard-hearted and calloused. I want to feel. I can't carry the weight of every problem around me, and nor can you. And I don't know that we need to. But I think we need to open our eyes and open our heart so that we can feel something about somebody that's going through something that we could do something about. Open your eyes, open your heart. But the third idea is really where we bring this home. And that's when we open our hands and we do something to make a difference. Ask yourself, when you see a need, when you see brokenness, when you see a hurt, when you see a mess, what can I do to make a difference here? It could be in just a person that you see, or it could be with more than one person. The number of people, it really doesn't matter. That what matters is that you choose to make a difference in what is standing right in front of you. Help. Reach out. And it feels like, oh man, there's so many needs. I can't help all of these. No one asked you to do that. And I think sometimes just making a difference right there in front of you is more than enough. But it'll grab you and you'll want to do more because it's so fulfilling. We all have heard the story about the man who was one day walking along the beach and he noticed a boy picking up something and gently throwing it back out into the ocean. He approached the boy and asked him what he was doing, and the kid said, well, I'm throwing these starfish back into the ocean. The surf is up and the tide is going out, and if I don't throw them back, they'll die. The man said, don't you realize that there are miles of beach and hundreds of starfish? You're not going to be able to make a difference in this problem. And the boy just bent down, picked up another starfish, and threw it out into the ocean. And then he said to the man, I made a difference for that one. That's where it's at. See a need. Open your heart. Open your hand. Make a difference for that one. Sit with a lonely person and just let them talk. Maybe discover that there's a family who are quite poor and their child wants to go out for a sport, but they just can't afford it. And help them afford that. Or maybe they have a child that has musical promise and they would love to have their child take private lessons, but they just can't manage it right now. Help them out. That's making a difference. I remember a chaplain who would carry teddy bears, so stuffed animals, in her car. And when she would take a call out, if there were children present at this crisis situation, she would bring out a bear and just say, hey, do you need a friend to help you through this? And let these kids have this stuffed animal. And she talks about one night a boy was there and there was a death in the family and it was a real mess, just a real crisis. And she shows up and sees this little boy and she said, hey, do you need a friend to help you through this crisis? I brought one. She holds up the stuffed animal and his face just lit up and he grabbed for this teddy bear and pulled it close and hung on to it through the whole time. Who knows the difference she made in that young boy and those other kids that she gave those stuffed animals to. Keep it simple. Don't look for the spotlight. Be discerning and careful. There's some crazy people out there. But don't be content with making a point. Make a difference. We need that. Hey, thanks for listening. I hope this has stirred you. This is making my point that we need to make a difference. And I hope that you catch that and you start looking around for a place where you can make a difference. I hope you like this. And if you did, and if it meant something to you, maybe click like, share it. Maybe we can start more people making a difference, which can only make things better. Hey, thanks so much for listening. Until next time, I hope you have a great week.